The Fox News alert this morning, a second U.S. airman who was missing nearly 48 hours behind enemy lines in Iran, now safe after a rescue mission hailed as one of the most daring ever pulled off by U.S. Special Forces, and President Trump confirming minutes ago that the pilot was seriously injured.
Congressman Michael Baumgartner sitting on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and joins us now here in studio. Listen, we're all celebrating this morning, and we should be celebrating because this was not just a precise operation. The fact that they were able to pull this off without any loss of life, I think, is just extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. It's a great way to start the Easter weekend. Yeah. I think all Americans rejoice. We take a specific amount of pride from coming from my district because Fairchild Air Force Base in Eastern Washington is the home of the Air Force's Survive, Evade, Resist, and Escape, the SEER program. Yep. So I don't know this for a fact, but very likely that those airmen went through Spokane for their training.
Yeah. This could have ended very badly. All of us know it could have been ended horribly with not just loss of life for the airmen, but maybe even those rescuing. But it hasn't. What does that morale boost do for the war, for maybe peace negotiations? Where do you see this going?
Well, I think the bottom line is America and the world are a lot safer than we were 5 weeks ago. Yeah. You know, we've flown more than 13,000 attack missions in Iran, and it has been just a tiny amount of planes have been shot down. But it still is very, very dangerous. And this brings home how serious the issue is, but also it's something Americans can rally around with confidence that we don't leave anyone behind. So a lot of pride as we start this Easter weekend.
Hey, Congressman, you spent time before being a congressman in Baghdad during the Iraq War days. You worked in counterinsurgency, some of that involving Iranian suppression. A reminder that this conflict now with Iran isn't something that just started. It's been going on, and we've seen countless service members maimed and killed from Iranian IEDs over there. What are your thoughts now as you look at where things sit? The president's given a 24-hour deadline to come to the table to negotiate. So far, Iran seems unwilling to do so.
Well, this Iranian regime is not a normal, rational regime, as you and I would think about. They are really a messianic death cult, and they believe that their view of Shia Islam is going to be spread by the hand of God across the Middle East and the world. And so they've killed over 2,000 Americans in the last 50 years, whether it was Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia, the attack in Beirut, and nearly 1,000 Americans when we were in Iraq. I was there as a State Department officer as doing counterinsurgency, and it was Iranian-supported militia groups that killed so many Americans. And this president, with President Trump, starting with the elimination of Qasem Soleimani in his first term, has said, I'm not going to accept that this Iranian regime can threaten and kill Americans. We're going to deal with this threat. And I think Americans, even though this is not easy, but they can feel much safer with what the president is doing. And notably, the president is doing this with some political cost. You know, and that's what we want from our leaders. That's what we want from our leaders, to do things that aren't just politically expedient, potentially politically costly. And I think President Trump and the American warfighters deserve a ton of credit for what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that yesterday. I think he was on the verge of an economic boom this month. Obviously, the numbers weren't as bad as it could have been, given that the Straits of Hormuz is still closed. But you talked about this messianic message, or this messianic theology that that the Iranians have. And as the strength of the U.S. military becomes more and more apparent, doesn't that make things become more and more dangerous? In other words, if this is existential to the Iranian regime, and if they know that they're on the verge of losing, how does that make it? Doesn't that make things more dangerous at this moment? Maybe not on the other side, but at this very moment, couldn't something even more terrible happen?
Well, it is very
honest.
It is. It is very dangerous. That's why it's so important that we've degraded their missile capabilities, set back their proxy terrorist forces, and that we know where we've looks like we've buried their nuclear material. The fact that they've enriched so much nuclear material. But think about how dangerous it would be if this death cult had access to that nuclear material. We have enough problems with North Korea. And remember, in the 1990s, there was an opportunity for Bill Clinton to do something about North Korea. Instead, he chose to negotiate. But North Korea is a hermit kingdom that largely keeps to itself, where the Iranians want to spread jihad throughout the world. So they cannot be allowed to have a nuclear arsenal. And with this president, they're not going to be. So it's not easy. It is very dangerous. But America is making a lot of progress, and the world is much, much safer. And on the economic issues, yeah, prices are slightly up right now. But remember, in the Straits of Hormuz, there are many countries that it matters much, much more to them than it does to Americans to keep those straits open. China, India, Japan, Pakistan, Europe. Because with President Trump and with Republican leadership, we have increased our American domestic energy production. We are much, much safer, much more insulated. So I am not worried about the Straits of Hormuz in the medium term because there are so many countries that want to see that thing open. So I think America has done really well. I think we're in a strong position. I think we have lots of options. I do think it's going well.
And I think you make an excellent point, too. Never underestimate the real danger for the region. People talk about what the Iranians and their position toward us, but I think they've been very dangerous to their neighbors as well. So I think the U.S. is trying to do the right thing, not just for us, but for the entire globe. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Go Cougs.
All right. Meanwhile,
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.